You have the pants. You might have had them for a while, or you just bought them and they are still sitting on the hanger with the tags on. Because every time you go to wear them, you stand in front of the wardrobe and think, what on earth do I put on top? Wide leg pants are one of the most flattering silhouettes available to women right now. And that is not a trend statement. It is a proportion statement. They work, but they have a very specific relationship with the top half of the outfit. And when that relationship is off, it does not matter how beautiful the pants are, the whole thing falls apart. So today we are going through 7 blouses, not vague suggestions, not something flowy, specific blouse styles with the actual styling logic behind each one. That pair with wide leg pants in a way that is polished, realistic, and genuinely wearable for women over 60. Not wearable in a magazine sense, wearable in a Tuesday morning sense. One thing before we start. These are starting points, not rules. Everybody is different, every wardrobe is different, and I will tell you when something works across a range of situations and when it needs a small adjustment depending on your shape or your proportions. The goal is not to hand you a checklist. The goal is to give you enough understanding of why these combinations work that you can make the call yourself when you are standing in your own wardrobe. I have been in this space long enough to know that most style advice for women over 60 treats the body like a problem to be solved. Minimize this, camouflage that, avoid the other thing. What I have found, working with real women in real wardrobes, is that the more useful conversation is almost never about hiding anything. It is about proportion. It is about giving the eye somewhere clear to land. And once you understand that, getting dressed starts to feel a lot less like a negotiation. Wide leg pants are the perfect example. Here's how to think about these 7 blouses before we go through them. 3 of them are your everyday workhorses, the pieces that solve the daily, what do I wear question quickly and reliably. 2 are elevation pieces that take the same pants from daytime to dinner without changing anything else. 1 is your casual, no occasion required option for when comfort and looking like yourself need to happen at the same time. And the last one is for the days when you want to walk into a room and be genuinely seen. Let us get into it. The first blouse, the fitted button-down, fully tucked. If you only ever wear one style of blouse with wide leg pants, make it this one. A fitted button-down, tucked in all the way around, is the most reliable combination in this entire category. And the reason comes down to proportion. Wide leg pants carry a lot of volume. That volume is part of what makes them so flattering. They flow, they move, they skim over the areas most of us would rather not spotlight. But volume needs a counterpoint. Without something fitted at the top, the outfit can start to look shapeless, like the clothes are wearing you rather than the other way around. A fitted button-down tucked in creates a visual anchor at the waist. It says, this is where the body is and this is where the pants begin. That clarity is what makes the whole silhouette read as intentional. The tuck needs to be clean all the way around. Not a half tuck, not a loose suggestion of a tuck, a proper, smooth, full tuck. Wide leg pants already have a lot happening below the waist, and an uneven tuck adds visual clutter exactly where you want clean lines. Take the extra 30 seconds. The fabric changes the occasion completely. A crisp cotton button-down in white or a soft neutral is casual daytime polish, errands, coffee with a friend, any situation where you want to look like you made an effort without looking overdressed. Move to a silk or silk blend in the same cut and the same tuck, and you are suddenly in dinner territory. A gallery opening, an evening out, the silhouette is identical. The fabric carries you somewhere else entirely. The fit across the shoulders is the one measurement that truly matters with a button-down, and it deserves its own moment. If that shoulder seam sits in the right place, right at the edge of your shoulder, not drooping onto your arm, everything else is fixable. 2 long sleeves can be rolled, extra fabric disappears into the tuck. But if the shoulders are off, there is no styling trick that corrects it. Try it on properly before you commit. And if you are shopping online, measure your shoulder width first and compare it directly to the size chart. That one step eliminates most of the disappointment. The button-down works precisely because it is fitted. But what if fitted is the opposite of what you are looking for? What if the whole reason you love wide leg pants is the room and ease they give you? And you want the top half to match that feeling? That is the problem the next blouse solves, and it solves it better than almost anything else on this list. The second blouse, the wrap blouse. This is the blouse I recommend most often to women who tell me they have stopped wearing things that draw attention to their midsection. And I hear that often. There is a real and understandable shift that happens for many women at a certain point, where the relationship with the midsection becomes complicated, and the instinct is to cover everything and hope for the best. The wrap blouse is a better answer than that. A wrap blouse does not define your waist in a fixed, inflexible way the way a belt does. It creates a waistline you control entirely. You decide how snug the tie sits, where the wrap crosses, how the neckline opens. That level of control means you can have a defined silhouette without any of the discomfort or self-consciousness that comes from something tighter or more structured. You are creating shape on your own terms, and that is a completely different experience from having shape imposed on you. The placement of the blouse matters a great deal here, and this is where most people get it wrong. The wrap should hit at or just below your natural waist, not at the hip. When a wrap blouse sits at the hip rather than the waist, it competes with the widest point of the pants, and the whole lower half of the outfit becomes one continuous volume with no definition anywhere. Pull it up to the natural waist, tie it there, and you have a clear visual break the eye can follow. A wrap blouse in a solid color is the easiest entry point. A rich jewel tone, burgundy, deep teal, warm rust, over wide leg pants in a neutral like camel, charcoal, or ivory looks quietly sophisticated without requiring any additional effort. Once you are comfortable with the silhouette, a wrap blouse in a subtle print adds a layer of personality that a solid sometimes cannot give you. A cotton wrap blouse reads as relaxed weekend. A satin wrap blouse reads as dinner. Same silhouette, same fit, completely different context. That is your wrap blouse. Elegant, adjustable, and occasion flexible. Now we are moving to something completely different in feel, because this next one is the blouse most style videos leave out entirely, and it is probably the one you will reach for most often. The third blouse, the cropped linen blouse. Most style advice for wide leg pants veers toward the polished end of the scale, and that leaves a real gap. What do you actually wear on an ordinary Tuesday? What works for the farmer's market, the garden center, a casual afternoon out with no particular occasion attached to it? That is where the cropped linen blouse earns its place. Linen is a fabric that understands itself. It has enough texture and weight to hold a shape without being stiff. It breathes in warm weather, and it gets better with every wash rather than worse. A well-made linen blouse is a genuine investment. It will be in your wardrobe for years and will never look dated. Now, I want to be clear about what the crop is doing here because I know the word cropped can send some people straight to the next video. This is not about showing skin, it is about proportion. A cropped linen blouse that ends just at or slightly above the waistband of your wide leg pants keeps the waistline visible without requiring a tuck. You get the ease and relaxed feel of an untucked top with the same visual effect as a tuck. 1 inch of waistband showing is the sweet spot. That small strip of contrast is enough to define the waist and keep the outfit from collapsing into one long, unbroken line from shoulder to floor. And if even that feels like too much, a longer blouse that simply sits right at the waistband works by exactly the same logic, as long as there is a clear visual break between the hem and the pants. The principle is the same. The adjustment is yours to make. Choose a cropped linen blouse with a clean, simple neckline, a round neck, a subtle V, or a collarless mandarin collar if you want something slightly more refined. Linen has its own visual presence. Let the fabric and the fit do the work. The fourth blouse, the silk or satin blouse. Every wardrobe needs an elevation piece. Something that takes an outfit from lovely to genuinely striking without requiring extra accessories or additional effort. For wide leg pants, the silk or satin blouse is that piece. Both fabrics carry their own drape and weight. And when that drape meets the movement of wide leg trousers, the whole outfit flows together in a way that reads as deliberate and considered at a level most people associate with professional styling. The truth is simpler. You chose 2 things that work together. The fabrics did the rest. The most important thing to know about choosing a silk or satin blouse for this pairing is that the cut should be simple. This is not the piece for ruffles, embellishment, statement sleeves, or anything decorative. The fabric is already making the statement. A clean collarless neckline, a classic point collar, a relaxed round neck, any of those in the right color will consistently outperform a more embellished blouse. When in doubt, go simpler. The fabric rewards it every time. On the question of tuck or no tuck, if the blouse is fitted and falls at or above the natural waist, tuck it. If it has a deliberate loose drape, the kind cut to flow, a partial front tuck works well. Leave the back out and tuck just the center front. A full untuck only works if the blouse has a structured hem that holds a clean, intentional line when it sits over the pants. Otherwise, it looks unfinished, and with a fabric as beautiful as silk, unfinished is a waste. Tonal dressing works beautifully here. A silk blouse in a shade 1 or 2 steps darker or lighter than the pants creates a look that is quietly elevated without being too matched or too costume-like. A cream silk blouse with ivory wide leg trousers, that slight variation signals intention without looking like a set. This is your dinner outfit, your celebration outfit, your I want to look genuinely beautiful tonight outfit. And it travels extraordinarily well. A silk blouse packs into almost nothing, wrinkles less than most people expect, and arrives looking like you did not just spend 8 hours on a plane. Before we go further, if you are finding this useful, subscribe. Every video I put out is for women over 60 who want style advice grounded in real life, not in fantasy wardrobes or trends that stop making sense past a certain age. It costs you nothing, and you will see new videos as soon as they go up. Now, that was your elevation piece, the one for when the occasion genuinely calls for something special. We are coming back down to earth with this next blouse, but do not let that fool you. It has a specific technique attached to it that most women either do not know about or do not quite execute correctly. Once you get it right, it becomes one of the most useful things in your wardrobe. The 5th blouse, the oversized button-down French tucked. An oversized button-down worn completely untucked over wide-leg pants is usually a mistake, and here is exactly why. Wide-leg pants already carry significant volume below the waist. A long, loose blouse on top of that extends the silhouette without defining it anywhere. The body disappears into the outfit. The overall impression is that you got dressed in a hurry and stopped halfway through. The French tuck fixes that entirely. You tuck just the front center of the blouse into the waistband, roughly 3 to 4 inches of fabric, and leave the sides and the back to fall naturally. What you get is a visible waistline at the front, just enough to anchor the whole silhouette. The rest of the blouse keeps the relaxed, easy feel you chose an oversized blouse for in the first place. It looks deliberate without looking done up, and that balance is the whole point. For fabric, chambray, soft linen, or a relaxed Oxford cloth. Avoid anything too stiff. It creates strange, almost wing-like shapes at the sides when it falls loose. Avoid anything too thin. It loses structure and bunches awkwardly in the waistband. You want enough body to hold a shape when it falls, and enough softness to tuck without creating bulk. Go up a size intentionally, but keep the shoulder seam close to your actual shoulder. Slightly oversized in the body with the shoulders placed correctly reads as a style decision. Drowning in fabric reads as a sizing accident. This is your casual Friday blouse, your creative environment blouse, your I want to look polished, but I also want to be genuinely comfortable blouse. It handles all of that without trying very hard, which is exactly the point. This next one I want to handle a little differently because it comes with a conversation that I think is worth having properly. The 6th blouse, the sleeveless shell. Let me be straightforward about something. A lot of women over 60 have made a decision, their own completely valid decision, that they prefer not to show their arms. And I want to say clearly, this segment is not here to talk you out of that or suggest you should feel differently. It is here to show you that the sleeveless shell is one of the most practical blouses on this entire list, regardless of whether you wear it alone or always layered. On its own, in warm weather, a sleeveless shell in a quality fabric paired with wide leg pants is a clean, elegant look. Simple, unfussy, and quietly put together in the way that very simple things done well tend to be. And because this blouse is so stripped back, no collar, no sleeves, no details to carry the eye, the fabric becomes the entire conversation. Fabric quality is more visible on a sleeveless shell than on almost any other blouse on this list. A well-made silk shell, a fine gauge knit, a smooth, substantial cotton. These look polished from across a room. A cheap polyester shell looks cheap from across a room. With other blouses, a less expensive fabric can still look presentable depending on the cut. With a shell, the fabric is almost the entire story. Spend a little more here or take your time finding a quality option secondhand. It makes a difference that is immediately visible. On the neckline, a crew or boat neck creates a clean horizontal line across the chest that reads as structured and polished. A V-neck or scoop neck draws the eye downward and elongates the torso, which works especially well with high-waisted wide-leg pants. Neither is better. It depends on your proportions and what you feel good in on a given day. As a base layer, this blouse does something none of the others on this list can do quite as well. Under a relaxed blazer or an open linen overshirt, the neckline of the shell shows at the center and gives the whole outfit a clean, finished look, rather than the thick, bundled appearance you get when there is too much fabric layered in the neckline area. The result looks considered rather than assembled in a hurry, and that distinction is more visible than most people realize. For travel, this is the combination to reach for first. A silk shell and wide-leg linen trousers pack into almost nothing, arrive in good condition, and take you from the airport to a restaurant to a museum without requiring you to change or think too hard. And now the last one. I saved this one for the end on purpose because it requires the most intention, but the payoff is worth it. The seventh blouse, the statement print blouse, I want to address something directly before we go any further, because I hear this all the time. Women look at a statement print blouse and think, that looks beautiful on someone else. I could never wear that. And almost always what they mean is, I tried something like this once and it felt like too much. I felt like I was wearing a costume instead of clothes. That feeling usually comes from one of a few common places. Either the print was competing with something else in the outfit, another color, a busy accessory, a second pattern, or the blouse was the wrong cut for the body wearing it, or both things were happening at once. None of those are reasons to rule out prints permanently. They are reasons to approach the print blouse with a little more intention than you might bring to a solid, which is exactly what we are about to do. The print needs space. It needs a neutral partner that does not compete with it or dilute it. Wide leg pants in a solid color give a printed blouse exactly that space, and the result is an outfit where one element leads and everything else follows with quiet purpose. The solid can be almost anything neutral. Camel, ivory, black, soft white, olive, charcoal, warm gray. Let the print provide all the color and all the visual. Interest. Keep everything else calm. The scale of the print matters more than most people realize. A very small, dense print on a loose or voluminous blouse creates visual noise that is difficult to read from any distance and makes the outfit feel busy rather than bold. A cleaner, larger print, or one with enough negative space reads more confidently and more clearly. The smaller and denser the print, the more the blouse benefits from a fitted cut to keep the overall outfit readable. Tuck this blouse whenever the cut allows. A printed blouse left fully untucked over wide leg pants creates a large expanse of pattern with no visual break, and the eye does not quite know where to land. A tuck, even just a partial one at the front, gives the outfit a focal point and prevents the print from overwhelming the silhouette. This is the piece for the days when you want to walk into a room and be seen. Not in an attention-seeking way, in the way that a woman who knows herself and has dressed accordingly tends to be seen, with a quiet authority that has nothing to do with age and everything to do with intention. 7 blouses, each one doing a different job, 3 for your everyday life, 2 for your occasions, 1 for your Saturdays, and 1 for the days when you want the outfit to say something before you even open your mouth. If there is one thing I hope you take away from all of this, it is that none of it is about following rules. It is about understanding proportion well enough that you can make your own calls with confidence, standing in your own wardrobe, looking at your own clothes, on your own terms. These combinations work consistently, and the more you wear them, the more the logic starts to feel like your own instinct rather than someone else's advice. If you want to go further, I have a video coming up on finding the right wide leg pants for your specific body shape. Not a list of what to avoid, just practical guidance on what to look for and why it matters. That is the natural next step from everything we covered today. If you have a blouse that you wear with wide leg pants and it just works every time without fail, tell me in the comments. I read them, and those real-life combinations are often more useful than anything I could put in a script. And if this video gave you something to think about, subscribe. Every video I make is for women who want to dress well and feel like themselves doing it, at any age, in any real life.